let me tell you something now. You keep taking up all her time. We need to share her. Are you listening to me? I need my lady back. Do you hear me?
My boo-boo, are you hungry? My boy? Are you hungry, my boy?
You're giving him all the attention. Because I remember you said that no matter how many babies you have, that I will always be your first and number one baby. But now you just have only one and you cannot even see me.
Are you jealous?
Ayana got pregnant right away, and when their daughter was born, Blake became extremely jealous that Ayana was giving all her attention to the baby. On May 26, 2016, 30-year-old Ayana was found murdered in her apartment that she shared with her boyfriend.
Hey fam, I hope you all are having a fantastic Easter holiday. Happy Easter to you all out there. And thank you so much for your support so far. So today in this video, we will be talking about men that get jealous of the attention that their wife gives to their newborn baby or even to their kids generally. I have interesting stories for us to look into. Let's get started.
Have you guys heard about the gruesome case of Ayana Kazian? On May 26, 2016, 30-year-old Ayana was found murdered in her apartment that she shared with her boyfriend. Ayana's boyfriend was Blake Leibel, who was a successful graphic novelist, screenwriter, and the son of an extremely wealthy real estate developer. Ayana moved from the Ukraine to the US 2 years prior and met Blake not long after. When Ayana met Blake, he was already married and had a child on the way. But Blake didn't care, and despite his marriage, he decided to start a relationship with Ayana. Ayana got pregnant right away, and when their daughter was born, Blake became extremely jealous that Ayana was giving all her attention to the baby. Not long after, Ayana's mother became extremely worried when she stopped answering phone calls and text messages. She then called authorities to do a welfare check on Ayana, and when they arrived, they noticed that the door was barricaded. When police finally entered the home, they said it was the most heinous and disturbing crime they've ever seen. Ayana was found in a pool of blood, and not only was she deceased, but her body was disfigured and many pieces of her body were missing. Ayana was tortured and her blood was drained, and the coroner even said that she was alive for about 8 hours when her scalp was removed. Now, this is where things get creepy. The disturbing things that were done to Ayana were very similar to the stories and the images that Blake wrote in his novels. One in particular is a book he wrote called Syndrome, where a deceased woman lays on her back on a pool of blood the same way Ayana was found. In one of his books, he also drew this and wrote this caption at the bottom that says, "In the end, we all become monsters," which basically describes him. He looks so different and scary here, but he was charged with murder, torture, and was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole.
What do we call that? Is he a psychopath or a narcissist? Some people on social media said that men that are found competing with their baby to get attention from their wife are narcissists. What do you think about that? Do you think this is something that happens naturally amongst men? Could it be a secret that men keep away from people just not to be seen in a certain way? Do all men experience this once their wife gives birth and attention shifts? Do they feel jealous? The men I have around me, I don't think I have noticed them exhibit such behavior before. Is this something that men hide away from people? Let me know your thoughts on this in the comment section. And for the story we just listened to, this man was married before, he had a child. We don't know the relationship dynamics he had with his other wife. We don't know what really happened. We don't know why he even left her and moved on to this other lady. I feel like he used her as a lab rat because according to the video and also the article I read on this man had a project that was ongoing. He's a filmmaker and also an artist. So he had a project and he also had a book called Syndrome, and the pictures he had in his project was exactly what he did to the woman. The way he took her life, the way he tortured her was exactly what he had in the pictures he had in his book. So did he intentionally go out there to look for someone he will use as a lab rat? Is he a psychopath or a narcissist? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. below.
I've said this before, y'all, but narcissistic people are extremely jealous people. And if you have kids by a narcissist, watch how they become jealous of how much time that you spend with that kid. Watch how differently they start to treat you. Even if that child was planned, they will start to treat you differently and start to treat that child differently because all the time, effort, and energy is no longer focused on a narcissistic person. So the more kids that you have with this narcissistic person, male or female, the more that they will become like jealous of those kids and be angry at you and treat you differently. But Lee, how can they be jealous of children that they actually planned out? Because that's how the narcissist mind works. It just thinks in the moment. It's not planning too far ahead. We are like narcissists are impulsive people and we act on impulse a lot of times. So we might be in a heat of the moment and just like, let's have a baby. And once that baby gets here, we start to resent you, resent that child, and treat both of you differently. Because all the attention is not focused on a narcissistic person anymore. Hope this helps.
A lot of your baby daddies are secretly hating that you love your kids more than they were loved growing up by their own mother. Did you hear me? Let that sink in for a minute. These guys are jealous that you're a better parent to their child than they had growing up. It's nothing for you to be jealous of, sir. Don't envy this child over this. But just know it happens. There are some men that are just really fucking jealous of the relationship the mother and son has. All because they didn't get it growing up.
A person told me that they were having a baby. And I was like really excited for them. They're really excited. They want a baby. Everything's exciting and lovely and wonderful. And I'm like, yay, go you. And they've started talking about how supportive and helpful and good that their partner's going to be. And that's when I get quiet. Because I know that person. I know that man. I know that the chances of their relationship surviving having 1 or 2 children is very unlikely. It might survive 1, but it definitely won't survive 2. And the reason I say this is because the majority of men that I see having children with women, they've had a long-term relationship and the relationship has been going fine because all of the woman's attention is on the man. The minute the child comes along, child 1 or child 2 comes along, the woman doesn't have time and attention for the man anymore. The man gets jealous. Now this sounds bonkers, I know it does, but if you've ever had a conversation with a man who is talking about his feelings after a baby's been born, it is often comes down to how jealous they are of the attention the baby receives, and that's where the relationship breaks.
Let's have a closer look at the reasons why a narcissist will get jealous of their baby for getting attention from their spouse. Narcissistic individuals often have excessive need for admiration and validation, coupled with lack of empathy for others. When a narcissistic man becomes a father, his jealousy towards his baby may stem from other factors, threat to attention. Narcissistic individuals often craves admiration and attention from others. The arrival of a baby in the family can shift the focus away from the narcissistic father onto the child, leading him to feel threatened and jealous of the attention that the baby receives from the mother and others. Challenge to superiority. Narcissistic individuals often see themselves to be superior to others and may view their offspring as an extension of themselves. However, when the baby begins to develop its own identity and needs, the narcissistic father may feel challenged and resentful, leading to jealousy, inability to control. Narcissists often seek to control their environment and the people around them. However, babies have their own needs and personalities that cannot be controlled. This lack of control can be unsettling for a narcissistic individual and may lead to jealousy and frustration. Lack of empathy. Narcissistic individuals struggle to empathize with others and may have difficulty forming genuine emotional connection, including with their own children. As a result, they may see the baby as a threat to their own need and desires, rather than as a separate individual deserving of love and care. Fear of losing status. Narcissists are often preoccupied with maintaining social status and image. The arrival of a baby may challenge their sense of importance and disrupt their carefully crafted image, leading to jealousy and resentment towards the baby.
Do you feel like your spouse is jealous of your relationship with your kids? or it feels like they're constantly competing for your attention. I felt like this all the time, and it's so messed up. He was jealous of the attention I gave my daughter, and he would sulk if I chose her over him. If you're new to my page, my name is Jackie, and I'm giving real examples of emotional abuse tactics so that you can spot them in your relationships. So a child legit needs you to do things for them. To prepare their meals, to kiss their boo-boos, to put them to bed, to help them with tasks. And during the first year of my relationship, my ex was really good with my daughter. He always respected the time and attention that I gave her because I thought he understood that children's needs come first. But slowly over time, I started to feel like he was trying to put me in the middle or force me to choose sides. Like anytime my daughter would ask me for something, ask me to spend time with her or play with her, I would have this grown-ass man simultaneously ask me for something that he could very well do himself. So when I would say, I'm gonna help my daughter right now, he would get upset. He would tell me that she's too needy and that all I ever do is cater to her wants and that I need to grow a backbone as a parent. He would do things to intentionally pest her. He would invade her personal space by tickling her when he knew that she didn't like it, or he would randomly take things from her like her blanket or her tablet. Often, he would walk into the living room and turn off the TV when she was watching it. Say we were watching TV and my daughter was keeping herself occupied. He would intentionally call her name to get her attention and say something like, "Your mom's all mine." I'm keeping her cuddles to myself. This would cause any child to be upset, so she would come over and try to cuddle with me. And I would move to make room, but he would try to stop me from making room for her. It was like it was some kind of game. So she would get more escalated, and I would eventually get up and move to another couch so that I could cuddle with her. And he would condescendingly say something like, "Oh, here comes mom to the rescue." When I was putting her to bed, he would come upstairs and try to interrupt our bedtime routine. He would either tell me that I'm taking too long and it's time for me to come downstairs, or he would just try to participate, knowing she would get upset because it's mummy-daughter time. This would offend him and he would storm off, and I knew that I was either going to get the silent treatment or there was going to be a fight when I got downstairs. Over time, she really started to dislike him, and I couldn't really blame her. And he started to notice. In the beginning, I felt like I was a referee trying to smooth things over between them. I would tell her to just ignore him and walk away when he was pestering. And I would tell him that her reactions were normal, and if he wanted to have a good relationship with her, he needed to respect her boundaries. So she started to ignore him like I recommended, and this pissed him off even more. He would say she was being disrespectful and demand that I punish her. And I would tell him, "Hey, you created this dynamic every time you pick on her and cross her boundaries." Then he would flip it on me and tell me that I was taking her side and being an unsupportive partner. I was creating a snowflake and she needs to toughen up. And I would tell him, yeah, I will always take her side. You can parent your children how you wish, and I will parent my children the way I wish. I see now that he was nothing more than a bully to my daughter. And I feel so much guilt that I put her in that position, because your home is supposed to be your safe space for your children. But if this dynamic resonates with you, please understand how narcissistic this behavior is. Grandiosity, lack of empathy, disrespecting boundaries, toxic masculinity. Only an insecure man will get jealous of the relationship you have with your children and try to get in between you.
So guys, this is all I have for you guys in this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching, and bye.